This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz. Very excited to speak with Brandon Scott Jones about ghosts. How are you, Brandon?
Good, Abe. How's it going?
Good. We spoke, I think, 2 years ago now. I was just listening back to our conversation because it's this is a rare show, the world of streaming everything that there's a show that's on every year. So like we're gonna talk regularly. It's nice. And even if Emmy voters have forgotten to notice this show for a few years straight now, we're gonna keep talking about it. We love it. We're not gonna give up.
Yeah, that's very sweet. Yeah. I was like, thanks for making time. I know that I do think this is the year though. I think we're really in the running. So Eben Moss back or rack or whatever it is. And I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, no, but thanks. I'm happy to keep talking and as long as the show keeps rolling and then maybe even after. Because you know what? When you Zoom this often, you become friends.
True, that's true. And I recently, I think Sheila was my last one. I got through the whole task. Took me a while, but I managed to talk to everybody. So now I have to just kill someone off and bring on someone new to.
Exactly. All right, and who is your favorite?
That's a great question. It's probably Brandon Scott Jones if I had to think about it
Oh,
for just a second. But everybody's great. It's always a lot of fun. There's not a dud among you, which is nice.
it really is kind of like the thing that gets me the most excited to go to work every day. Like I know it sounds so cheesy, but like I love this cast. Like we have such a fun time together. It's like there is not a single dud. Everybody makes me laugh so and hard. I bleeped
And it's
myself.
the opposite of Isaac, who I feel like would be very happy to share the people around him who he found insufferable and not that
Oh yes.
interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I know like that like the group of 10 of the 10 of us kind of have like an offstage version of the show and we're like sort of like the inverse of these characters, which is great. Yeah.
Well, there were some big moments for Isaac in the season, and the most important thing is I think he has been vindicated with the whole Hamilton thing. Because we
Yeah.
thought he was overblowing that. We thought he was just like enough already. And it's like, no, this guy was an asshole. And Isaac didn't necessarily handle it as well as he could, but he was not in the wrong. He was
That's what
wrong.
yeah, that's what I felt too. I was sort of, like this meeting Alexander Hamilton is like I think even like from the day I auditioned for the show, it was like in the little character breakdown that he had like a chip on his shoulder about Alexander Hamilton. And I don't even know if it came when it was first introduced, but I don't think it was in the pilot. So to have like finally like 4 years and you finally meet him and you see exactly what this is. I was also a little bit in the same way as you. I was like, oh, okay. Like I can see why he hates this guy or why he's so frustrated that this guy went on to have such a storied life. But there's like a little part of me as an actor that wonders because Isaac was telling the story. It wasn't like just a pure flashback. If Isaac was sort of adjusting some of the details a little bit to, maybe soften the blow of what that is, to sort of like retroactively justify all the stuff he's talked about.
That's probably true. I was giving him too much credit, perhaps, but I suppose I take the flashbacks, at face value. But there is the narrator thing here, and these people all tend to exaggerate, including Sam and Jay,
Oh,
despite being
totally.
alive. They're definitely over the top.
Yeah, it's unreliable narrators left and right. You know what I mean?
And then, of
There's
course, we
two
have
types of
you know.
flashbacks in the show. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
But please, no, no,
Oh, no,
answer
no.
is
I
take
was like, there
precedence.
is those two types of flashbacks where you just sort of see something that happened, and then there's the ones where somebody tells the story. And I always wonder if the subjectivity is worth exploring down the road somewhere.
Well, I would love to see some sort of, dramatization of whatever this book that's being written, this bastardization of some sort of, amped up history and, vampire novel. I don't know if we'll get that at some point, especially if Jay gets to play, or maybe one of Jay's dreams. That can be
Yeah.
a good place for it. You can tell the writers that if you want. I don't need credit, but I think that would be a lot of
I think
fun.
that's a great idea. I'm gonna text him that right after that. It would be so fun. Yeah, just to like also what a fun cold open that could be, right? You just see like, oh, you think it's a flashback, and then suddenly Isaac has teeth, like vampire teeth. It's insane.
Like that. Well,
Yeah.
if Hamilton was a victory, I would say that Chris the stripper was not of it. That was just like a real embarrassment. And having watched The Flight Attendant, I was excited to see Dennis like on the show. That also did not work out for me so well. It was really just a quick guest appearance, but
I
definitely a
know.
funny one and a low point, I think, for Isaac.
Oh my God. Probably part like a little bit of the lowest we've ever seen him. Like so sad. He's like one step forward, 25 steps back type of guy. And God, the way he acted around Chris, he was so, I think, overwhelmed with the concept that there was another gay or bisexual man on the property that wasn't somebody he already knew. I think it just like blew his brain and he became even more of a moron than he already is. You know what I mean? And Dennis is so cool and so funny and so nice. And he played it so well where he's just sort of like, okay, you know what I mean? Just like very, very chill. And I think that's kind of almost like the indifference a little bit is such like a foil to Isaac is so funny. But yeah, that was sad. A low moment. A low moment. Fun to play. A sad, sad story.
Well, it does seem like things with Nigel aren't going as poorly as they could have been, for this dramatic, separation and whatever. That doesn't seem to be, it's sort of like that's leveling out a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like again, I think they're trying to cohabitate and be friends. They don't know how long they're going to be there. So I think it's like, it's also like when you have like 250 years of time together already and you spend like what, a year, 2 years dating or, thinking you're going to get married, time is, it's a different perspective I can imagine when you're sort of like eternally there. So I wonder if that sort of contributes to them sort of just like mellowing out for a second. I'm sure tempers will flare and things like that, but I wonder where that's going to end up or where that's going to go. But I will tell you, more John Hartman on Ghost is always a good thing.
Well, it was nice to get the addition of Mary Holland, even though I think she is legitimately terrifying at some points in this role.
Oh, 100%. God, isn't Mary the best? She's so great. We've known each other for a while, and when I found out she was doing the role, I like lost my mind. I was so excited. She's so, so funny and so good. And playing those scenes with her, especially in the beginning of the year where we were like trapped in a hole together, that's sort of like a dream. I mean, it's so great.
It really felt like a horror movie, like briefly, like the way that the season ended and this started. Like, because the ghost stuff usually isn't very scary. Some of it, if you think about it too much, might be a little disturbing, but that was just like
Yeah.
Puritan terror there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like, I kind of wish, I hope that our show kind of leans into that a little bit more sometimes. This is just like, oh, wait, this is a show about ghosts. Let's be terrifying. Because I also have this theory that if you were to visit Woodstone, the most scary thing about Woodstone is Sam and Jay. Like, they're so weird. They're so unusual. They're like spinning so many plates all the time, trying to like acquiesce and manage these ghosts that if you can't see them, and you're just a guest at their B&B or a patron at their restaurant, you're gonna look, and be like, well, these people are insane.
Like, or you could have just a very serious, like Halloween episode. I think I don't know if you've seen the movie Friendship with Tim
I did. I
Robinson.
just saw it.
There was a trailer that I saw that basically is like makes it look like a serial killer kind of movie, but
Uh-huh.
it's like every quote is like the funniest movie of the year. So it's like this, the images don't match the
Yeah.
text, the music, and I think that like the ghosts drama that like a Bel Air type thing, Fresh Prince of Bel Air turned
Yes.
dramatic, but this turned horror. Which, as someone who doesn't like horror, I don't actually think I'd want to see that,
You
but I'm
don't.
sure it
Okay.
would be very good. And Rose was on iZombie; she can do the genre stuff.
Yeah, of course. Rose is such a great actor. She could do anything, honestly, that we throw at her. But I think it would be so fun to just have, just like a couple jump scares every now and then. Why not? It's a ghost show. We can do that.
We certainly have the Isaac has the gasp down, so we'll just put that.
Yes, he does. He has the gasp.
Well, I was talking, I think, to Asher recently. I was like, this is a great time where you actually have a few seasons. Like this, the future of this show is looking good, which in this industry is so rare.
Yeah.
What would you like to see for Isaac in the years to come?
Oh, good question. I think it's kind of like a little bit more of that soul searching of like, why am I here? I'm kind of like interested, knowing that we have two more seasons at least. Um, I think there's like like something that I think even not just for Isaac, but for all of us is just like that interconnected web, like have like a season of it that's just sort of a little bit like lost, where like they're sort of piecing together why they all are on this property to get like, is there something that has, tied them together? Is there some reason that these 8 people plus, haven't moved on? And is it something about the house? Is it something about how they are genealogically, or I don't know anything. I also just saw Final Destination Bloodline, so I'm probably just I'm like, oh, let's just make that movie. But like, yeah, so I think that's the type of stuff. And then just like more fun, silly stuff. Like my favorite stuff is when Isaac is like running for president of the house and like just like small little things that matter so much to the ghosts because they have such a mundane life. So I would do 100 of those, you know.
And while you have worked with everybody pretty substantially over the course of the show, who are you itching to get? It's been a while. Who are you itching to get more time with soon?
I definitely, early on in the show, Rebecca Wasaki and I had some fun, like stuff back and forth, and we've sort of haven't necessarily had as many scenes. Same thing with uh, uh, Danielle's character, Alberta. So I think I think he has these toxic friendships with people that I think are really, really fun. So I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. But somebody who I haven't gotten a chance to really do any scenes with is well, or as many scenes with is Sasapis, played by Rahman. And I think they have like a really fun energy together. Like I don't know. So I'd love to see some more stuff between the two of us.
You have anything else coming up project wise aside from the next
No.
season of Ghosts?
No, I'm fucking done, man. I can't. I got nothing. No, I do. I'm a writer, obviously as well, and I'm working on a couple things that I'm very excited about, but I don't think I can legally talk about. But I think other than that, I'm just living my life. And so that's the thing that I'm the most excited. I go to the Vista in Hollywood all the time and I just see movies there. It's like so great. So I am I'm a pretty boring human being right now. I wish I had anything fun to say. Just watching my
Oh, that's
Baltimore
okay.
Orioles completely collapse. Oh.
Well, I know that you said you've seen a lot of films lately. Is there anything on TV you've seen that you really like these days?
Loved. I just watched all of Overcompensating. I thought that was great. Big fan of that. And then I just started watching this new show yesterday, and I'm forgetting the name of it. Something cute with Matthew Good. It's like on Netflix. It's like a British detective show. Anyway, I'm a big Matthew Good fan, so I was like, all right, let's do that. So yeah, I'm excited. But you know what I'm pumped for is the new Alien TV show, which I know you're not a horror guy, but I'm excited to see that.
So it's interesting because I was told, I think, by my uncle, like when I was a kid, it was like Alien is the scariest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And it's not because like that was 1979, whatever. And so I went to an activation at South by Southwest for the new Alien Earth show, and it's like they're trying to make it really creepy, but like I'm open to it. I'm
You're open
curious
for it.
about it. It's
Yeah.
interesting because you're supposed to be into the mythology, not the characters. Like every show, every new thing is like about different characters. And so
Yes.
it's like a new chance to get into. So I'm definitely intrigued, but I don't know
Yeah.
that that would not be, I wouldn't call that horror, although maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's supposed
No.
to be taking me back.
Well, I mean, like the 70, like the original movie, it was a little bit more horror focused just in terms of like monster on a ship type of thing. But then the second one, Aliens, that's just like a pure dope ass action movie. And like it's like, I mean, there's thrilling and it's awesome and incredible. And so like, yeah, I don't necessarily consider it horror. Sometimes it can get gross, but I do like the mythology of the alien universe, like Prometheus and Alien Covenant and stuff like that. I'm really into it.
You're also probably a safe person for me to say that I actually like Alien 3, and I know that's a controversial opinion.
Wow, yeah,
But
no,
I,
I mean it's a wild move. That's the one on the prison planet, right? With Charles S. Dutton.
yeah, interesting stuff. Charles
Yeah.
has done pretty cool.
Yeah, great. And then what's his name directed it? David Fincher, right?
Yes, yes, he does.
Yeah.
92, I think, but before Resurrection. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah. Resurrection's also fun as hell. It's like insane. I love it.
All right, well, I hope that Alien Earth will fulfill your expectations,
Me too.
and
Me too.
looking forward to seeing the terrifying future of ghosts as you can manifest it.
Exactly.
And
I want the show to be so scary we can never have one of these conversations again because you haven't seen it.
that is the goal. Well, thank you so much. This is always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Abe. Thanks so much.